Have you ever wondered what minor league baseball is like? Well, you're going to find out today. Before I bring on our guest, I'd like to introduce my co host. This guy has a great channel. He chooses players to spotlight that have great stories, players who may have flown under the radar, or maybe you've forgotten about him. He's one of my favorite storytellers. So let's bring on Gordon from Athlete Archives. How you doing, Gordon? Thank you for
Hey,
joining me tonight.
hey, Drew. Glad to be here as always. Thank
How's
you.
everything going? Good?
Things are good. We're about to get some ice this weekend here, so we're preparing for the apocalypse.
Well, our guest tonight was a four-sport athlete in high school. He was second team all conference in 2022. He was first team all conference in 2023, three-time gold glove winner while attending Doane University. He played 3 seasons at Moose Jaw in Canada, where he was the team MVP in 2022 and a fan favorite in 2024. He's also a three-time All-Star with Moose Jaw. In 2025, he played with the United Shore Professional Baseball League, where he was an All-Star for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Nate, thank you for joining us.
Good to be here. Thanks, Drew.
I didn't strip your bio, did I?
No, you nailed it. You did a good job.
All right. Well, Gordon, kick us off, will you?
Yeah, Nate. So I have a whole kind of array of questions in no particular order. But before Drew hit record, you were talking about the fact that you just got off work, and I recently did a video on Boog Powell, who played in the '60s and '70s, and one of the things that came up in that video was how back then even MLB players had side jobs because they didn't pay enough, and obviously the minor league grind is that's a whole nother ball game, and I think we all know, um, you know, until you get to the major league level, no matter what level you're at in professional baseball, which you're a pro. Um, you don't get you really don't get paid. So, what is your side job? I'm curious what you're doing, because
Yeah.
when you're playing baseball, obviously it's not something you can work all year round, or is it? I want to hear a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
hmm Yeah. So right now I'm working at Airs and Airs Construction. I've uh I've worked there before. So yeah, right now I'm putting in like 50 hours a week to try to
Mm-hmm.
make up for that lost pay, just like you were talking about. So yep, I'm putting in 50 hours a week for work, and then along with that, I train at night. I
Yeah.
drive to my university, which was in Crete.
hmm
I do that probably 4 or 5 days a week, whether that's working out or hitting with some of the guys. So
Drew, you can stop me. I don't want to just hog the mic, but that was another thing that I wanted to hit on because I was curious about when you're at once you're out of college and you're at the level you're at where you're basically getting paid to play, how much development actually happens in the game? Are they? I think I saw the USPBL plays 45 games. I don't know over how many months. So, like, is there practice? Is there any development going on, or is that all on you?
yes, sir. No, there's like when we're there, we get there right at the beginning of May, and then like you said, we play our 45 games, and that's about we play about 3 4 games a week, and then on those other days we practice in the morning, and then we do our lift. They don't really give
Hmm.
us a recommended lift because everybody's body is different, so that's kind of on your own. But I would go in pretty much every day that we weren't playing. We would go to practice and then we'd hit the weight room after that.
Wow. So it's what 5 6 days a week you're doing something baseball related?
Yeah, more around the 6 to 7 range. Right
Hmm.
now it's the grind, like you said, the minor league
hmm
baseball. You're trying to work your way up to the show to where that you can make that your full priority.
hmm So you're not working a side job during the season.
I am not, but some of the
Okay.
guys I played with, they would. They
Okay.
would put in their like 10, 15 hours a week, whether that's taking out trash or cleaning up
Mm-hmm.
offices, whatever side little thing you can do to make some money. But
hmm
yeah,
You,
it's a grind.
you talked about your grind during the off season, but is it a grind during the season? And what is travel like?
For the USPBL, it's really nice because it's 4 teams and we all play at one stadium. So there's no travel at all. We all play in Utica, Michigan, and we all train at the same facility, so we go at different times. 2 teams will practice at once, and then the other 2 teams will practice like 2 hours after that. So it's nice. They do a good job.
Gordon,
So-
you have a connection to Utica, don't you?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's where I grew up. I
Oh,
went
no
to-
way.
Yeah, I went to high school at Henry Ford 2 High School, which is right there. It's part of the Utica Community Schools, and so I know that area really well. They built that stadium and everything long after I'd left the state, so I don't know exactly where it is, but
It's west of Shelby Township.
yeah,
It's,
I
yep.
lived in Shelby.
Oh,
So-
no way.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
yeah.
Beautiful area.
And- Is it Little Caesars Stadium or something like that? Is that what it's called?
No, that's where the Pistons play. That's
Okay. Oh, okay.
They just renamed the field. Actually, it was Jimmy John's Field.
Jimmy
and
John's.
they-
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yep. And they just built it 10 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Now they renamed it. It's like UWM or something like that. Field.
Do you know a guy named Chris Newell?
I do not. No.
Okay. I think he was a manager at one of the teams. I think he was a part in actually starting that league. I knew him from back in college, but yeah. So can we rewind a little bit? I want to go back to your high school days. I volunteer with a local high school baseball team, and I've been doing that for years. So every year I see guys that have aspirations to play beyond high school, and we've sent kids anywhere from Division 1, 2, and 3 to NAIA, and the beautiful thing about baseball, when you compare it to football, if you're going to play in the NFL, you're going to be in a high-level Division 1 program somewhere. Baseball, you could be at a community college baseball and make it to an MLB. It doesn't really matter what level of ball you're playing, and so it's a little bit unique. And people sometimes they get a little too worked up into the brand name of the school that they're going to instead of whether or not they're going to get playing time. And so if you can go back and maybe talk a little bit about your experience in choosing Doane, and obviously it's close to your home, and what that was like, what that experience did to help you prepare for the path that you're on now.
Yeah, you hit it spot on. For baseball, it really does not matter where you go. It's more about your coach, like who you want to follow and who you want to lead you in this next part of your life, because a lot of people go junior college now. They go junior college for 2 years. They help develop if they want to go that Division 1 route. But yeah, that Division 1 route, it isn't required for baseball, in my opinion. There's a lot of good D2s. D2's getting really popular. NAI is really popular where I played at. Like you saw LSU Shreveport just win 37 games straight. So that put them on the map on every single level. And I know a few guys that I played up with in Canada, guys that I played against, I should say, that were on that team, and they're still playing professional baseball as well. So, but if I was in high school and was looking for a college, I would find a fit first before you'd find a big name.
Find a fit as in the coaching staff or
the coaching staff. Yep, the culture. If it's close to home, if that's wherever you fit comfortable, wherever you see yourself succeeding the best and getting playing time.
How do you know who is that coach that's going to be a good fit? Now, you're a hitter, right? You're not a pitcher, so you're not looking for a pitching coach. But how do you go about seeking out, hey, that's the guy I want? He's the Walt Reniak. He's the Charlie Lau of today's time. How do you find that guy?
So funny story. I actually went into college as a two-way because I pitched all through high school. So I looked at both the pitching coach and the head coach. That's what we had at Doane. We had our 2 main coaches, and then we had our infield coach too. So, but when I went and looked at Doane, I didn't have very many options. Well, I'll say that, but I had local options, GPAC options, and our head coach stood out to me the most because he just had that passion and that drive that was different than other coaches. I could just hear it in the way he spoke and what he wanted for the future of the program and the team and all that stuff. So that's, and like his training, the way he was talking about training and developing, like we've been talking about how important that is. That was the main things I was looking for, was their culture, their team culture, how they want to train and develop their players. Those were the big ones.
Yeah, and it's tough walking into some of these schools, right? Because I know, for example, the kid who has all of most of the hitting records for our local high school went to a Division II school, and they have like 40 guys on their roster. So, you know, it is tough to get playing time when you get to that next level. It looks like you had success there. I don't know when you started playing, if they played you as a freshman, or what was the battle like when you actually got on campus, and how many guys were actually on the roster or on the team?
To start with that, we had 57 guys on our roster.
Yeah, that's
which
crazy.
is huge, humongous. Like you walk in, the first meeting, I remember my freshman year, it was the first meeting. We didn't have practice yet, and we were in like a big classroom, like 100-seat classroom. We almost filled that whole thing up with coaches, staff, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then COVID was my freshman year, 2019, and we got shut down that spring. It was right before our spring trip. So I think that helped me out a lot because I got to develop throughout that time when everybody was at home to like help figure out the game, help focus more on one sport since I was a multi-sport athlete. Used to being more focused on every other sport, and then finally got that main focus on baseball, which was cool. But so I started out as bench guy on the varsity team, and then luckily when my window struck, I didn't look back. I took advantage of that opportunity and luckily just started to gradually ease into the lineup. And then it was my sophomore year when I got into the starting lineup midway through the season. So it did not happen right away.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even, I looked for playing time, but it wasn't my main focus when I was scouting for other schools.
What would you say what's the difference between the competition between where you're at now and at Doane University? Is it dramatically different?
Yes, I would say so. The level of pitching, and that's the biggest one. You're starting at the GPAC or NAI level. You're seeing your starter, their top starter is 86, 88, maybe top of nine, and then like their 2, 3, 4 starters are probably 80 to 82. But now every single game you're seeing 90 to 92 out of the starter. You're seeing 93 to 94 out of the bullpen, and then you might see a crazy closer. So I would say that's the biggest one. And then hitters are way different too. You just see guys that have 20 to 30 more pounds on them. Everybody's built a little bit more, just more developed. They train different with how they hit. I would say in college, everybody gets a little home run happy, I will say, in batting practice and all that stuff. And now it's like you can see guys pinpoint where they want to hit it, where that pitch is at, what they're going to do with it. That's the biggest thing I've noticed. Just that little extra step.
Do you use wood or metal bats?
We use wood bats.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. So I'm curious about. I have a son that explored playing in college as well, and we kind of got caught in a trap that I think a lot of parents do when he was young. And I live in Georgia. Okay, you can play baseball here 12 months out of the year, and we pretty much did. And I think, you know, in hindsight, it was a mistake. You know, basically focusing on one sport is, you know, his whole time he was in high school and everything. You had alluded. I think you played basketball and football and
Yep.
baseball
And
and
baseball
and
and
I think
golf.
that
So
in
it
golf
was my
too.
senior year. Yep, it was my senior year. We finally got baseball in high school. But other than that, I golfed
Oh
for those
wow.
3 years. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, and I think that there's no debate that that's better for you, better for your body, and you know to diversify. You know, you're not gonna lose ground by going to play football or golf or what have you. But would you do anything different? Like so we started playing. I don't want to make this all about me, but we got caught up playing travel ball at like 9 years old, like 9 and 10 years old. We were driving all over for tournaments. When did you start playing travel ball and how basically that like
Yeah, I love that question. I started playing when I was 14. Is when I started
okay
to play legit travel ball. But before that, it was just I would just play in the summer, just baseball in
yeah
the summer. Yep, because that's all. Like in the winter here, like I'm sitting in my car and it's 10 degrees outside right now. Like you can't do anything. You can't do any sort of training outside. So you have to mix it up and diversify it.
yeah that's the better path than what
Yep.
we did for sure.
Which is okay. I mean, if you bounce, like I'll say, travel ball at a young age is perfectly fine. Like it gets them experience playing the game itself at a fun level. But with that, I would incorporate other activities
Yeah.
along with it, right? Like football. Football is fun for me. Like it teaches you different things about teamwork and being with teammates and all that stuff,
Hmm.
which I really enjoyed. And then basketball, like they all have different aspects of being on a team and working towards a common goal together.
Hmm.
So I think that's what it really taught me to do.
Yeah, good point.
Nate, I'm kind of curious. Your current situation with the team that you're playing for now, do you have a contract in place? And if so, how many years is it, or is it, every year you got to sign a new contract? And when does that happen?
So right now, I do not have a contract. I am somewhat a free agent. I would probably call it that. So I'm seeking out different teams right now. There's a tryout for the Frontier that I'm going to go to, most likely. Not for sure on that yet. Still haven't signed up, but that's around April 20th in Ohio. So I plan on attending that. And then there's one for the Frontier League. That's also independent baseball, right around that time too, in the middle of April. But they usually, going back on the contract thing, for independent ball, they usually do 1 year contracts. Just and ours is like an open one. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but it's an open one to where if an MLB organization or an independent ball, any other professional organization wants to pick you up, we have like a 48-hour or 24-hour, something like that time frame to where they talk as an organization to see if it's okay to have you go somewhere else. Because the organization itself can deny you from going somewhere else.
Mm.
Under your contract, they can deny.
Under your contract, yep, they can deny it
So the
since you're
major
signed
league
on to
team,
it for a year.
so the MLB team could come in as an example and
Yep,
buy out the contract, though, right?
absolutely. Well, they could negotiate it for sure, but they can't. I don't think they can straight out buy it. I think as an organization, if they saw an MLB one come up, they would see ya. Like they want you to do that.
Because
Like that's the goal of an NFL.
you often read that the parent club has purchased the contract for so and so. I mean,
Hmm.
so that's why I asked that question.
Yep, I think they negotiate it and then they buy the contract out.
Okay.
So I think yeah, you were right on that.
Sorry.
I
Go ahead.
I
Go
have
ahead.
one more question that's related to the contract and salary stuff. I'm curious what you do for healthcare. Do you have healthcare?
I Yep, I'm
Do
on
they
my own health
provide it?
insurance now. They they do not provide it. No, but we
Okay.
had trainers though. Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
So we were on our own. I'm on my own health insurance, but they have trainers on staff that will help you.
Okay.
So that was nice.
So I know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that Drew told me that you had a chance to go meet Eddie Watt.
I did. Yes,
Is that
sir.
correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. We did.
What was that experience like? Did you know anything about him beforehand? Because he's
Nope.
yeah, I mean he's a seriously legit like high, he's in the Orioles Hall of Fame. Like he's a legit ex Major League Baseball player. And let's face it, I mean he played in an era where it was a completely different game, but still I'm curious what advice or anything that he had to say to you that you might want to relay.
hmm It was an absolutely fantastic experience. Me and Drew drove down, went to go see him,
Mm-hmm.
and his wisdom, he was just a baseball player. Like he could tell story after story, pitch after pitch, location after location to this day, and that's inspiring to me. And the way he talked about baseball and how much love and dedication he had for it was
Mhm.
really cool to hear. And he
Mhm.
one of my big takeaways was how he was talking about how the travel is and how
Mhm.
much of a grind that is of being on the road. Like you drive all day. You drive,
Mhm.
which was my experience in Canada, which was very comparable and similar. We could be on the same
Mhm.
page about it. You would drive 8 hours a day, get off the bus, stretch for an hour or two, get ready to go, and boom, you're playing a game that night. And then when you're done with that game, you get right back on the bus, and then either you're playing there that same day or you're back on the road again, driving another 8 hours, and then playing a game at home. So,
Nate, I don't know if we talked about it that day we met with Mr. Watt, but this goes back to a comment that you made. He was a very good golfer, and he actually had a scholarship to play basketball at Northern Iowa while he was playing baseball. So at least a three-sport athlete himself.
right.
So
And he talked about that with how much he switched up his arm slot throughout the years, too. I remember
yeah.
him talking about that. That was very, very relatable because I've heard so many of the guys that I've played with, especially in professional baseball. Like one of my teammates last year, he was in high school throwing 99 from straight over the top in high school. Just phenomenal. And then he blew his arm out, and he couldn't throw from that arm angle anymore. So they keep dropping him and dropping him lower and lower. And now he's the sidearm guy throwing 93. Arm's feeling good. So
Wow.
I thought that was a cool story to add. But
So you were in Saskatchewan. Drew told me you were there for 3 years. That's Moose Jaw. Is that right?
yes, just Saskatchewan. Yes, sir.
So that weather had to be tough. So what was that grind? Because you kind of hit on it, the travel there. So you were traveling all around Canada in that league.
Yep, all over the West Coast. We were
Oh,
based in Saskatchewan and Alberta.
okay.
That's where our league was. So,
And
but the weather,
it,
yeah, you go.
what did you come to the U.S. at all, or was it an all Canadian league? I'm not sure what league that was in.
All Canadian. It's in
Okay.
the Western Canadian Baseball League, the
Okay.
WCBL.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
So, but the weather was nice that time of year. I mean, some days we could get, yeah, right, like spitting rain at 60, but then when it's nice out, it was like sunny and 85, 90 maybe.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was nice.
So we have. I'm sure you know. The Savannah Bananas are not too far from me, right? They've become really. I mean, super popular here in my area, of course, but they're all over the internet now, and it has become a legitimate option for people who, um, are playing college ball and looking to do something different. And the first time I've been to 2 Savannah Bananas games. Uh, the first time I went, I thought it was just going to be like a clown show, but those dudes can play baseball. Like it is legit baseball. And I don't know if that's something? I know that's not the path that you want right now, but is that an option that you would ever consider exploring? Because it seems to me that those guys are kind of like that baseball program that Jesse has going there is just exploding, and I know he treats his players pretty well, but or do you think that that's just like clown baseball and not something you would ever do?
I don't really see it as clown baseball. It's evolutionized a lot. Like their players, I agree with that. They are legit. Most of those guys are like former big leaguers, or they are just done playing that type of baseball, so they want to play this version of it. So we kind of incorporated it a little bit this year at the USPBL for real baseball, real fun was our slogan. And a couple of the guys that I played against last year are now playing in that glow baseball. Have you heard about that? Where they're playing it at night. They're doing baseball like at night, lights turned off, and then they have these like glow LED lights displaying, which is similar. It's similar to banana ball in that sense. Like they do their celebrations and their dances and all that stuff. But
so you have to hit 90 miles an hour in the dark.
Yeah. They light up the ball and everything. Though. They like make the ball like neon pink, I think is what they do. So
I haven't seen the Savannah Bananas. Would you say it's similar to, say, the Harlem Globetrotters from a basketball standpoint?
No, because that was a legit comedy show.
That's a good question.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen them, so
I think banana ball is a little more related to the sport. Like you can see more baseball come out of it, like than the Harlem Globetrotters. I agree that was just a stage show. Like they're throwing up, they're bringing multiple balls onto the court and all that stuff. But Gordon, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean they obviously they'll horse around a little bit and do some dancing and things like that, but for the most part, like they're legitimately trying to play baseball and they've altered some of the rules. So for example, if a fan catches a foul ball, the batter's out, things like that. So some of those things are kind of neat because when there's a foul ball, everybody's scrambling to actually try and catch it.
Right.
If you drop it, everybody boos you. So it's kind of fun.
Oh, I love that one. That's probably my favorite rule that they added. You see someone just so into it and so excited at the moment. It's fantastic.
I kind of want to segue a little bit more into what you were talking about, how your current team or your past team was trying to create more excitement and fun. You and I kind of talked here, I don't know what it was, about a month ago. I said, what's your thoughts on, bat flips and the dancing and all that? For me, I'm old school but I want to hear what you have to say about it. And I think you even alluded that maybe they encouraged it. So I know times have changed, but what are your comments on that?
It's a line. I think you can go way over the line with all of it to where if you incorporate it into MLB baseball, like the dancing and all that stuff, that it would take away from the game itself.
Yeah.
To where that wouldn't even be the prime focus. Like people would just be watching a show rather than watching the game itself. And the bat flip thing, I think it is acceptable. Like it's a part of the game. I don't think it's ever going to go away now. And I think there is a fine line to that too. Like you can go way overboard to the extent of where like, dude, it's a home run. Like there's still more game to be played. It's not like you just won the World Series on that single swing. Maybe it's a walk-off. Maybe it's different in that sense, but I'm still a little old school too.
I've seen, guys do the bat flip and they sort of stare at the pitcher and, they stare at the ball and all that. But when a pitcher strikes out a batter, is it okay if they could stare at the batter and throw their glove up in the air? Or
right.
What are your thoughts on it?
Trevor Bauer talks about that. That's his big thing. Have you know who Trevor Bauer is?
Yeah, sure. He played for the Cleveland Indians, right?
Yes, sir. he's big on that. He's like, well, if they're gonna do it, why can't I do it?
Yeah.
And I don't disagree with him. I don't see why not.
I remember watching Garrett from Cincinnati Reds. He did something similar and kind of showed him up and stared him down, and the hitters got mad, and then there was, a bench clearing ball.
Yep.
So I don't know that both sides have gotten on the same page yet. So, but
Not yet. Not yet. I agree with that.
But you talked about, when you and I talked, you talked a little bit about how your team was encouraging certain things, right? Can you talk about that a little?
Yep. So they were encouraging us at the beginning of the year. So we would do like different introductions on like celebrations into the stadium. So like we would come out of left field carrying flags onto the field, and we would do our home introduction from the pitcher's mound. We would all get like hurdled up around the mound into a ball, and then they would announce our name, and we would like jump out, do our own celebration, whether it's a wave or a dance or something like that, whatever you want to do. And then you run out to your position. And then on a first run, we would do like a first run celebration is what we would do. So if somebody scores, each team had their own celebration. So ours, we were the Beavers. So we would crush a log or something with an axe because that's somehow related to it. It was a process in the making, of course. Like it was just different ideas, like our main media guy, like his idea or our ideas all contributed together on whatever celebration we wanted to do after each run. So
yeah, I think I'm reached that age where get off my lawn,
yeah. Keep the game going. I don't disagree.
I would probably lead the league in fines.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, to your point, Drew, I like it that that stuff needs to be tempered at the Major League Baseball level, but these minor league or independent ball leagues, they're struggling to put seats in the stadium and to generate revenue, and so they do things to entertain kids, and that's what but the banana ball stuff is it's not for 54-year-old guys like me. It's for 8-year-old and 9-year-old and 10-year-old kids, and the demand for those tickets is through the roof. So
Agreed. Yeah, they sell that stadium out every time.
yeah, they're doing something right.
Yeah, they are.
You hit on something I'm curious about. At the level you're playing at, I don't know how much media coverage you have, if any. Do you have media? Do you have reporters? Do you have people you have to talk to? And has there been any media training for you, whether it was in college or since then? Because honestly,
yeah.
To compliment you, you communicate very well. And a lot of, I don't know exactly how old you are. I'm guessing you're around 25 or
25.
late.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so nothing against your generation, but a lot of 25-year-olds can't communicate as effectively as you are right now. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so in college, they did not teach us that because we didn't really, at the NAI level, we don't have media. We would have our like social media page after like a walk-off home run, and our main guy comes down. He's like, "What happened there? What'd you see? What are you feeling? How are the guys feeling about the next game?" Stuff like that. But yeah, we would have media for the USPBL. I think it was my second game there. They had an on-field before the game interview, like, "Oh, we're gonna talk about you today. Like, can we ask you this question? Like, how are you feeling? What you're looking for? What your approach is at the plate?" And then we would do post-game interviews at the stadium. And we were big on social media this year. That was trying to be our influence on bringing people into the stadium, was through social media. So we did a lot of social media time. Like I would have to post 2 or 3 times a week, whether that's just like, yeah, which is crazy. Yep, I know it's coming with the change of times, but we would do social media posts, whether that's like our daily life, like what we're doing, or like, "Hey, come out and watch this game Friday night, 7 p.m. Your Beavers are going to be taking on the Mammoths, the Woolly Mammoths." Just say
I think Nate should be starting a YouTube channel about his journey. You know,
Well, I would watch it.
Yeah, I think that would be really interesting. You know?
There's some good stories in there.
I'm sure there are.
There's decent ones. But it's interesting. That's for sure.
Nate, I'm kind of curious. Where do you feel like you need to improve the most to get to the next level?
So I had a tryout with Miami Marlins last year, right around this time. It was like an exclusive, like smaller tryout, and this was over on Vancouver Island in British Columbia. So it was a guy that I knew, and we went and trained there. And I've got to talk to their scout, one of their head scouts, because I didn't have the best day at the tryout. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. And I asked him that night, I was like, so what do you see? Like, obviously it didn't go well. Like, you're not talking to me about what's next. So I was like, what do I need to improve on? Like, what happened? And he was just like, everything was good. Like, your mechanics, everything, you throw it hard, but you're just not heavy enough. And I went to that tryout at like 175. And he was like, usually we're looking for guys that are like 200, 210 if we want to play in the outfield. So we're going to need you to put on like 25 pounds within a year of muscle. Like, you can't just eat 25 pounds and expect everything to pan itself out.
Well, that explains my problem.
You gotta do the lifting, the cardio, while also training at the same time. So that's what I've been working on. But ever since that day, I'm like 198 right now. I'm almost in that 200 range. So
do you feel like you're losing a step, speed wise, quickness? Extra weight?
Not really, not enough to notice.
Okay.
To where it's like drastic. I don't steal as many bags as before, that's for sure. I'll probably be down on stolen bases, but I have noticed a little bit of a difference. But I got more power. I can swing it a little better. That rotational movement is definitely up, so I can see where it comes from.
So I have two family friends that played Division I ball. One went to Wake Forest, and he was a shortstop, turned into a third baseman, and they told him the same thing. They wanted him to put on 25 pounds. And he and his roommate, his freshman roommate, and they literally they gave them like super high calorie shakes that they were supposed to be drinking. His roommate walked around basically with a jar of peanut butter all day, like trying to cram in as much peanut butter as he could stomach, just trying to gain weight. And it's crazy, but you're right. I mean, weight. There's a weightlifting saying, weight moves weight. And there's definitely no. I looked at your stats. I mean, you are a home run hitter. Your OPS that Drew shared with me was 940. So you've got power, whether you're 170 pounds or not. But I know what you're saying does not surprise me, and that everybody wants that. Even for a guy like you're a center fielder, even for a center fielder. It makes you wonder if a guy. Are you familiar with D. Strange Gordon? Do you know who that is? He was.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Fastest can be. He's probably like $120. It looks like.
I know.
But
I know.
Yeah.
He stands sideways in the shower. He doesn't get wet.
Yeah. No, he is. Then you see guys like that, and I'm like, well, he probably runs like a 4.4 40-yard dash, like. Yeah. Exaggerating it, of course, but he is fast. That boy, he's got elite speed, which I did not have. So it's either you run a 4.6 40 or you hit bombs. Mm-hmm. That's what they're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, D had no power, but and that's the thing again with baseball. That why I always say it's the greatest game, because you can be any size and shape and you can be good. But I hate the fact that scouts are so focused on something like that. Similar to so my son was a pitcher. I hate how it's all about velo. Like all they care about is velo. And Greg Maddux showed that it's not about velo. But that's what it all is now. Like if you can't throw mid 90s, you're never gonna get a chance. So it's crazy.
I know. I completely agree with that too. It is crazy.
So I want to ask you kind of an off the wall question, because as somebody who's gone to many, many baseball games, as you know, my whole life, and when I've taken my kids, I I don't understand, and maybe things are different for you at the level you're at with costs, but why? First of all, I kind of have a dream of being that guy in center field who turns around and throws a ball to a kid in the stands. And I never understand like why they can be so stingy during batting practice, like why they aren't just pumping balls into the stands. And hey, have you ever had a chance to make a little kid's day by throwing a ball into the stands? And
Yes.
what was that like?
Oh, it's the best experience ever. You can see
Yeah, I
like
bet.
the smile like light up their face, and they just like start screaming, "Thank you, you're my favorite!" Like, never gonna forget you, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the reason that we can't like throw out so many baseballs during games, especially at our level, at the independent ball level, like MLB, they can just chuck and get rid of them. Like they make
Mhm.
enough money in that sense. But our balls are like pearls. Like if you get rid of it, they're scouting you. They're looking for it. They're like, why'd you get rid of that ball? Like that ball's fresh. Like we can still use that ball. It's like, oh come on, dude. Kids begging for it. But
Yeah,
it's
that's
funny.
funny. You ever
It was yeah. You go first.
you ever put some zip on it?
No, absolutely not. No, it's always a lob. Always a lob every time. But it was funny. I talked about how we get in trouble if we get rid of too many baseballs, and it was like last one in our bag for warm-up balls, and our other center fielder, who mostly played out in center field last year, Pablo, just rifled it. See it gone. We had no more balls to warm up with the rest of the day, so we didn't even warm up throwing before each inning. Just gave it to a kid. So
I'm kind of curious. I mean, you're talking about how, balls are cherished or whatever. What do you have to pay for your own uniform, cleats, or gloves, or how's that all work?
uniforms, no, not in the league that I was just in, that independent for the USPBL. Uniforms were all provided. Socks, that was all provided. Hats, but we had to buy cleats, gloves, batting gloves, bats, helmets. Batting helmets were provided, so that was nice. But yep, all the accessories, I would say.
How many
You gotta buy
bats do you go
yourself.
through?
Oh boy, I went through 7 bats this summer,
Wow.
and that was 5 months. And right now I have 9 bats on stock.
Maple, ash.
I love maple. Maple's my favorite. I love maple and Victus. Victus, those are the best pieces. But everybody, Marucci is also a good one. Big fan of that. But bamboo, absolutely not. I can't do it. They have no pop, no juice, no nothing. Ash is okay. Ash is more durable, but it doesn't have the pop. We got a lot of guys that swing birch. Birch is pretty popular. It's pretty durable, but it's got pop.
Did you have one of these torpedo bats? That was a big thing last season.
We had a few guys that tried it out. I personally not a fan. I couldn't do it. Like, because the barrel, it's like narrowed to one spot, and sometimes if you hit it off the end with that thing, it ain't going nowhere. Like on that little part where it narrows on the end of it, to where it gets bigger. If you hit it on that end part, no, it ain't going nowhere. But if you get it on that sweet spot, like they swing more balanced. It's more of a balanced bat, where most wood bats are end loaded. I will say that the torpedoes are more like of a balanced wood bat.
Gordon, I want to be respectful of Nate's time. I think we've about 10 more minutes, and we're going to be right at that hour point. So,
Okay.
We'll throw that out there. Nate, if you could compare your style of play to one big leaguer, who would you say that would be?
Ooh.
So this was my last year. Past.
Okay.
This is my last year up in Moose Jaw. Somebody told me that I have the hustle of Hunter Pence as an outfielder, and his tenacity, but his swing, I was like, you can't compare my swing to his. Ain't no way. He had a goofy swing, man.
Yes,
He made it work. He made it work. Don't get me wrong, but goofy swing. But I got compared to Hunter Pence, I would say, and I would agree with him. He was a hustler. He wasn't the greatest athlete out there, but he
maybe
gave
Eric. How about Eric Burns? Maybe that would have been a better, if you know who that is.
Maybe. Not too familiar with Eric Burns, but
He was a joy.
Nate, you mentioned back that you were a 2A player, and why did you get out of the pitching? Because pitching is, I think it's a much easier route to the major leagues. Their pitchers are way more highly drafted, and so what was were you kind of forced out of it, or what was the decision there?
My college pitching coach will give me crap for saying this, but I kind of got forced out of it because I started at outfield once it was my middle of my sophomore year into my junior, senior, super senior year. I was mainly playing right field. That was my primary focus, so I kind of got forced out of it. But I also took myself out of it because I wanted to focus more on hitting and defense and fielding and throwing. I could get on the mound. For that tryout, after throwing pull downs, they were like, "Hey, why don't you just get on the mound?" I was like, "Dude, I haven't been on the mound in 4 years," and got up there and threw 89. So I think the potential still could be there, and the opportunity still could be there to be a two-way, or if one levitates more towards the other, they're like, "We don't see you as an outfielder, we see you as a pitcher." I'd be like, "Well, let's try it."
Yeah, that definitely happens. I don't know if do you know Spencer Schwellenbach? He's from your area.
I think it sounds really familiar.
All right.
He was a shortstop at the University of Nebraska and became a pitcher. Now he's with the Braves.
Yeah. So there are definitely guys that play position players that they end up turning into pitchers for one reason or another. But I can definitely see there's a certain kind of cool factor in the glory of being a hitter and being a power hitter to boot that I can see where that would be attractive. But
I found enjoyment in that.
Say that again.
I found enjoyment in that, and playing the outfield and still hitting. I still love to hit, so it's going to be tough to get me away from that.
I got one last question, and then Gordon will finish up with you. My question is this: next summer, you're playing ball, and a 9-year-old comes up to you after the game and says, "I want to play in the big leagues. I want to play college baseball." What advice would you have for him?
I would tell him to work hard, outwork everybody, always. That's something that you can control. That's in your control. Outwork everybody, no matter what it is. Get outside, be an athlete, be athletic. You don't need to just focus on one sport. Don't do just baseball. Don't do just basketball. Don't do just football. Don't do just soccer. Do them all. Play everything you can. Get comfortable with your body. Get athletic, and no matter whatever way you move. And then after that, once you start getting older and older, then you start to figure out, hey, I can do this. I'm going to work a little bit harder. I'm going to take that extra 20 minutes to hit. I'm going to take that extra 20 minutes to do my recovery work on my body and take care of it. And then tell them to have fun. It's the best game on earth. Tell them to have fun.
Well, I had a couple questions. I'm going to try and squeeze two of them in. First, have you ever been on a baseball card? Did the USPBL, did they make or issue little custom cards or anything?
No, they didn't. They do with some of the guys. I know they do with some of the guys, but I think somebody else that made them, but you had to pay for them. I was like, no, I'll think about it. I'll think about it.
Yeah. And then my other question is, this isn't maybe the best question to end on, but when you're at the level you're at, there's a certain kind of pressure to play even when injured, because you don't want to give up your spot. You ever hear the phrase, you don't want to be Wally pipped.
Yep.
Yeah. So, have you played through injuries or What is there pressure to play through injuries, or is it all on you? And just talk about that for a minute.
Yes, I have played through so many injuries throughout these last 6 years. I've been playing a higher level of baseball, from college ball, playing through. I literally sprained my ankle in one game and played through it for the rest of the game. And then I was like, yeah, nope, I'm getting a boot on that thing. Like, there ain't no way. I played through plantar fasciitis my whole 5th year. Yep, like just that sharp pain in your heel. Played through that for 20 games, and then finally got it needled at the end of the season. Like, got some relief to it. And then this last year in the USPBL, I strained my oblique, and like never got it doctor certified or like diagnosed, I will say, but I would always go to the trainer, and it was like somebody stabbing you right in the side 24/7, no matter what movement you make. Like, you take a deep breath in and it hurts, and you're like, yeah, that shouldn't be. And I took one game off, and that was like 24 games straight of having a sharp pain in my side. But yeah, like you said, you just can't give up that spot. You got to play through some pain.
That's right. Yeah, and as a power hitter, man, you need that oblique. So I'm sure that was extremely painful. And then to your point, the plantar fasciitis when you're an outfielder, my gosh, it had to be brutal.
Yeah, it was brutal. Yeah. And I remember it was after a conference game, like so bad. Ripped the shoe off. Luckily, a trainer was there. I was like, just put something in it. Like, I got to figure it out. And they put like 4 needles like right in my heel. It's like, I can't watch it though. Needles aren't my thing. I can't watch it. And then after that, it was like, stretch your calves and drink water, dude. It'll be better.
That's the thing. Not to get, I'll keep this short, Drew. But people they don't think about that, right? When you're watching MLB and you see a guy struggling, he's 0 for 20 or whatever, you don't realize, and then you find out at the end of the season. Because I remember Freddie Freeman one year he did not have a good end of the season, and he come to find out like he was having elbow problems, like severe elbow problems the whole time. And, like, you don't know, guys are always dealing with something. It's just it's a non-contact sport, supposedly,
but they're training every day. They're playing 162 games.
Yeah. Like,
to go off of that, Bryce Harper had his big elbow injury. Like, he was playing on top of that. Shohei, he was playing on top of his elbow injury. So, yep, that's a very good point. You don't know what those guys are going through.
Well, Nate, I wish you all the best, man. I'm a Nate Mensik guy now. I'm in your corner, so I'm pulling for you in your success this year.
Thank you, Gordon. I appreciate that.
Nate,
very nice to meet you.
Thank you for taking the time and talk baseball with us tonight. I appreciate it, and good luck next season.
Thank you,
Nate.
Drew.
Before you go, how can we find you? Are you on Instagram? What are you posting on social media?
I haven't been recently since the season's off, but you can find me on Instagram at nate.mensik. Okay. Yep, that's where I do most of mine. And then I'm on Twitter too. Capital M, Mensik, Nate. Yes, sir.
Okay. Awesome.
All right, great. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.